This is the moment we have been waiting for all season. The playoffs are finally here, the divisional round is upon us, and the Los Angeles Rams are coming into our house, into the freezing cold of Soldier Field, to try and end our Super Bowl dreams. We have a massive update on the injury front that could change the entire complexion of this defense, a direct and emotional message from Caleb Williams to every single one of you listening right now, and the critical game plan Ben Johnson is installing to make sure we don't get sent home early. Before we dive into this jam-packed breakdown, do me a massive favor and smash that like button, share this with a fellow diehard, and make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss a second of this playoff run. Listen, I need to talk to you guys real fan to fan for a second. We know what this team is capable of. We saw what they did in the middle of the season. But we also know the anxiety that creeps in when the offense stalls, right? Ben Johnson faced the media today, and he wasn't hiding from the truth. He knows exactly what the elephant in the room is right now. It is the running game. If you've been watching the last 2 weeks, you've felt that frustration. It's been sluggish. It's been disjointed. And frankly, it hasn't been good enough for playoff football. Ben Johnson admitted it today. He said point blank that the run game has dipped. And when you are heading into a playoff game, specifically a weather game in Chicago where the temps are dropping, you cannot be one-dimensional. You have to be able to lean on your ground attack. Johnson talked about needing to ignite that spark again, finding those efficient runs to stay ahead of the chains, and hunting for those explosives that demoralize a defense. But, and this is a big but, he acknowledged the monster we are facing. This Rams front is violent. That is the word he used. Violent. Their defensive line sheds blocks, they are relentless, and they play with a physicality that we have to match if we want to survive. Think about this. From the post-bye week all the way through week 16 and 17, we arguably had the best rushing attack in the entire National Football League. We were dominating the trenches. But the last 2 weeks? We are averaging between 75 and 80 yards on the ground. We are barely scraping by with under 3.5 yards per carry. Does that sound like a Super Bowl formula to you? It can't be. We have to be better. Johnson knows it, the line knows it, and the backs know it. Now, looking at the numbers, there is hope. The Rams' rushing defense is good, but they aren't the 85 Bears. They are ranked 12th in yards allowed, giving up about 111 per game. They are middle of the pack in yards per carry at 4.3. Remember, on the season, we are sitting at a healthy 4.8 yards per carry. So, the ceiling is there. We don't need to average 6 yards a pop, but can we get back to 4? Can we flirt with 4.5? If we can do that, we control the clock, we control the tempo, and we keep Matthew Stafford on the sideline. And that leads directly into the second point Ben Johnson hammered home, starting fast. How many times this year have we dug ourselves a hole? How many times have we had to claw back from a double-digit deficit? You cannot do that against a team of this caliber in the divisional round. If we fall behind early against this Rams offense, with the weapons they have, it is going to be a long, cold night in Chicago. We need to find success on the ground in the first quarter. We need to get into second and manageable. We need to extend drives so Caleb Williams can settle in, find his rhythm, and not feel like he has to play hero ball from the first snap. So here is the big question I want you to think about. Do you trust this offensive line to re-establish dominance against a violent Rams front after 2 weeks of struggling? Let that marinate for a second. Speaking of Caleb Williams, he sent a message to us. And I'm not gonna lie, it gave me chills. He was asked about the environment at Soldier Field and what it means to him. And instead of giving some robotic, media-trained answer, he spoke from the heart. He said, I want Bears fans to be proud of supporting us. I want them to cheer every game like it's our last one. He talked about how those are the moments you miss when you're done playing. He wants to look up into the stands and see us rowdy, see us losing our minds, just like we were on Saturday night. He talked about going into the locker room after a win, seeing his brothers smiling and laughing. He called those the moments you live for as a leader. And that word, leader, he is using it intentionally now. We have watched him grow up before our eyes this season. Remember all the noise before the draft? Remember the doubts? He has silenced them by embracing this city and this franchise with everything he has. Ben Johnson has empowered him, the team believes in him, and the city is all in. When he gave that game ball back to Ben Johnson in the locker room recently, calling his development monumental, that was a sign of a locker room that is fully connected. The worlds are colliding perfectly right now. The development, the belief, the vibe, it's all there. But it needs one more element, us. So, here is the question of the day, and I want you to flood the comments with this one. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much impact do you think the Soldier Field crowd will actually have on the Rams' communication this Sunday? Are we going to cause false starts? Are we going to force timeouts? Let me know what you think below. Caleb expects Sunday night to be a movie. He expects the lakefront to be on fire. This isn't just another game. This is for a trip to the NFC Championship. And depending on what happens with the Seahawks, this could be the final time we see this team at Soldier Field this year. So if you are lucky enough to have a ticket, you better leave your voice in that stadium. Now, let's get to the news that had me fist pumping in the studio today. The injury report. And folks, it is looking pretty darn good. Today was a walkthrough, so these are estimations, but listen to this list. All 3 players who were in concussion protocol and missed last week were listed as full participants. That includes the spark plug himself, CJ Gardner-Johnson. Getting CJGJ back for a playoff game is monumental. He brings that swagger, that attitude that we desperately need. Kyler Gordon is back. So now, you pair those two together in the secondary, and suddenly defensive coordinator Dennis Allen has his full deck of cards. He can run those sub-package linebacker looks, he can get creative with his dime packages. It gives us versatility that we simply didn't have last week. We also saw Joe Tryon-Shoyinka listed as full. That is huge for our edge depth. And Amen Agbogbemiga is full as well, which might fly under the radar for some, but with TJ Edwards and Noah Sewell out, he could legitimately be our third linebacker. That depth is critical. Braxton Jones was full again, so he is likely your swing tackle, providing a massive safety net if anything happens on the edges. Now, we do have a few names to watch. DJ Moore was limited with a knee. Rome Odunze was limited with a foot. Jalen Reeves may have been limited with a back issue. But remember, it is Wednesday of game week. Limited is standard operating procedure for veterans at this stage. I am not hitting the panic button on any of those guys yet. The only DNP did not participate was Nick McLeod with a groin injury. It's not ideal to lose depth, but if CJGJ is back, McLeod's absence is manageable. We have our top nickel options and our top outside corners ready to roll. Let's flip the field and look at the enemy. The Los Angeles Rams. Matthew Stafford. The guy is a warrior, we know that. He has a sprained finger on his throwing hand. But reports out of LA say he is feeling great. He is not wearing a glove, he is not wearing a splint, and he claims the 0-degree weather won't affect it. Now, I don't know about you, but getting hit on a sprained finger in freezing cold air hurts a lot more than it does in sunny Los Angeles. We will see if that ball flutters a bit if the pass rush gets home. The scarier news for us is Kevin Dotson. Their guard has been out since week 16, but Sean McVay sounds very optimistic. He said Dotson has a good look in his eye. Stafford called him a mountain of a man and a beast. If Dotson plays, that Rams offensive line gets significantly better. It helps their run game, and it helps keep Stafford clean. That is a massive return for them. Most of their other key guys, Xavier Smith, Terrence Ferguson, Josh Wallace, Quinton Lake, were full participants. The only surprise was Poona Ford popping up with an elbow issue, so we need to monitor that tomorrow. And Darius Williams missed practice, but it sounds like a personal reason. Congrats to him on the new baby, so he should be back. So, where does this leave us? This is going to be a battle. The Rams are flying across the country. They are a West Coast team coming into the freezer. Poly Market has us at a 36% chance to win, giving us the underdog tag at home. I love that. I absolutely love that. The pressure is on them. We are the team that is supposed to be rebuilding, remember? We are the team that is ahead of schedule. I'm sticking to my guns. I predicted it earlier in the week, and nothing I heard today changes my mind. I think this is going to be a classic. I think it's going to be tight. But I think the atmosphere, the return of our secondary pieces, and Caleb Williams' refusal to lose on this stage will be the difference. I am locking in my prediction, Bears 30, Rams 28. We survive, and we advance to the NFC Championship game. I want to hear your score predictions right now. Do not be shy. Drop your exact score in the comments. Who steps up? Who makes the game-winning play? Let's get the conversation started. You guys are the best community in the world. If you made it this far in the video, you are a real one. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on your way out. We are going to have content flowing every single day leading up to kickoff. We'll be back tomorrow with another video in the morning and our live show in the afternoon, so turn those notifications on. Stay loud. Stay proud. And as always, bear down.